Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. This fielded at the 2. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch twist. Rock it. 99, check 99.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hey, Mike 51.
Five.
Mike 51.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
25 yards that time.
Let's go. And two-stop.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Ricky. Undercrush.
Bravo.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his target. That's more. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And the QB rating right now is sky high, 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Check 3.
X3. 218. Chop. Shoot.
Throwing to start the drive. Eason. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now a first down carry by Bell. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Let's go. Strong left, strong left. Rep.
Hey, Orbit. Seek him.
On second down now, it's Black. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Hey, Alpha.
On third down, Eason. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and then angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
And defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. Third and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Taking a shot for Samuel. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to... It got his man complete. And he will finally be taken down up at the 48. A big play there for the Panthers. 44 yards. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
2nd and 7 at the 49-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Panthers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Looking to throw. So left side, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Panthers on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Rip left.
He'll look to throw. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes the score 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here. An inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing.
I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, Eason. He's got a first down. Loose football. The ball comes out, and the Panthers have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Hey, Haywood.
He'll drop to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
Let's go,
Hey, wahoo!
51. Watch the pass.
Let's go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Pilot, 64, weak. 5.
On play action, they'll throw. This is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 23. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. The ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half has... And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Okay, ready?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And it's 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Eason. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Going to take a shot for Gallup. He's got a man, complete. He's at the 30, 10. Touchdown, Carolina! Michael Gallup, an even 90 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Teams always want to send messages. I think that was quite a statement there to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, less than a minute in, already that quick, long strike. They are setting the tone for the 2nd half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 32-yard line. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. to him back at the 40.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Eason. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Pick the edge. Come. Chance.
You're out.
Check three.
Ready.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Mike 55. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
They'll set up a throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a Carolina 1st down on a gain of 16. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Orbit.
Now back to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10.
Double up.
Hey, Alpha. Snap.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That's good for 28 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
2nd and 9 now. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll drop to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Boy, such a good drive. You'd hate to have it end in 3. Do you think about going for it?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that they've moved the ball so well should lead you to the decision that maybe we should go for it right here. Also, as a head coach, show some confidence in your team. Let them know you think they can go get it.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 1st and 10, Eason. Wide open receiver. A very solid gain of 27. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point right down the middle, and that will get them 1 closer. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Check right. Watching your 5. On there, go.
Back to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Here's the Panthers punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Pulled in at the 24. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Hey, watch 11. Trips.
Off play action. Eason lets it fly for Thielen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk.
And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for him. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him.
Hey, Delta. 5.
trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to throw. Eason. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Eason. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield.
At their own 48-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. McCaffrey. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Hey, wahoo!
Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And it's taken in at the 9. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Hey, high 7.
3 down. 90 is the mark.
Ready?
Throwing again. Eason. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 27 yards there, a 1st down. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A run by Bell on 1st down, going to go nowhere as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Eason going up top. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Ready.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says? Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
And let's pin it.
2nd and 10. He's going to look deep for more. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, Eason. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 23. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But 2nd down instead.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to look deep for more. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 24. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because...
Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Yeah, that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. And he's going to go down again. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina, and they were really helped by their defense.